Okay, so we're back. We're here to continue our series of The Map and the Legend, where we're doing a detective's hunt to find the wicked and the proud in the scriptures. Who are they? There are breadcrumbs, there are clue clusters all over the place throughout the scriptures that lead us to understand, right? Lead us to the doorstep of the wicked, not the wicked as in nature of anybody who's just bad, quote unquote, but the wicked as in a people who the Most High refers to as the wicked, not wicked people, the wicked. So they are wickedness personified. Who are they? All right, and it's all about thus saith the scriptures, not me. It's not about my channel, not Yahweh Ram, not my interpretation, not my feelings. All right. You didn't come here for that. And I don't do that here. But while you're here, let's go ahead and give all praise, honor, and glory to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, through our beloved King Kamashiach, Yahweh Shai, and through his Holy Spirit, which he graciously pours out unto us who believe in him, who love him, and he does it in great measure, lovingly, and he spares us from, the rewards of our own transgressions. All right, we're made clean. All right, through Yahweh Shai, through his blood, which covers us, man. So he is worthy of our honor, our love, and our respect. Don't let anybody convince you otherwise. All right, so this is part 4 in this series. We are, trying to hurry up and bring it home. Not sure if this one is going to be the last one or if there's going to be one more. It depends on how the Holy Spirit moves me, how much commentary, is spills out of me and so forth, because I do what I'm compelled to do, not what I plan to do. All right, so clue cluster number 4, it covers the man of sin, the little horn, the beast, the religious and political power, and the war on the saints. Remember, we're talking about the map, right, and the legend. All right, the map meaning the scriptures, and the legend being, the key to unlocking the mysteries, to helping us understand the map. Need the legend to understand the map. All right. So to understand who the man of sin is, that's, one of the things in the legend that you need to know. The little horn. All right. And the beast. All right. So the beast represent, people. All right. People are represented by beasts, like beastly character and beastly nature, the beasts of the field, right? Nebuchadnezzar being referred to as a beast and being, relegated unto a beast-like state, all right, for his pride. And and that's a perfect example of what the Most High has done to these other people. He's given them a beast-like nature. They are prideful, proud people. And so therefore he likens their nature unto beasts. And that's how he sees them, as beasts. All right. So when we go to Daniel chapter 7, and it says, Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea, and four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse from one another. All right. He's not talking about actual animals or sea creatures or anything of that nature. It's talking about nations, and the seas being representative of the peoples. All right. So four great beasts, four great kingdoms came up from among all the peoples of the earth, diverse from one another. All right. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man, and as a man's heart was given to it. And behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had three ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. All right. So it was given unto unto to the beast to go out and devour much flesh, meaning to go and kill many people. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. Dominion, all right, an empire in the earth. And after this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. All right, now this is who? What? Who do you think this is? Who do you think this beast is? All right, remembering that the beast, these are nations, kingdoms that would arise in the earth. All right, now it said the fourth beast, all right, which is the last beast. The last beast that would rule before Yahweh's return. All right. This fourth beast was dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly. And it had great iron teeth, meaning it had a great military, a very strong military power, military force. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it, meaning all the other nations. What nation is the mightiest nation in the earth right now, in these last days before Yahweh's return? Bullying and stomping on all the other nations, subduing them, making them cower and get in line with their agenda. They devoured and break in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. All right, it's diverse, I mean, it's different from the others. See, because this empire, it combines all of the different aspects of all of the other beasts, all of the other most terrible kingdoms that ever existed. This one is a conglomeration of all of them. It's a melding. All right, it's Frankenstein, so to speak. Apart from this, apart from that, and it's stitched together to create this monster, this beast. That's exactly what it is. See, through the spirit, man, just gave me that analogy. This nation is Frankenstein, man. Guess who's Victor? Guess who's Victor? Satan. Satan. All right. The creator of the monster, the father of this beast. And it had 10 horns. All right. These are those 10 European nations, the European kingdoms. All right. That are also attached to this beast. They are part of it, letting you know that this beast is one with these 10 horns, obviously. And when you understand that these 10 horns are the European kingdoms, European nations, then doing the math should tell you, one, that the beast, is of the same people group and connected, and therefore connected, all right, to these peoples. All right. They are blood. They are the same peoples. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. All right, so this little horn, all right, it's, remember, it's all the same peoples, but this is another one of their own raising up from among them. So it's not going into a different people, same people, just another from among them raising up. All right. This is what's going on. You got to pay attention. This is the family, this last family, all right, ruling. All right. We understand, right? Nations and families. Okay. You're right. It's like having a bunch of sons. A man has a bunch of sons, and all his sons are getting an opportunity to have kingdoms and rulership, kind of like how Yahweh's sons are going to have kingdom and rulership, right? See, Satan just counterfeits. So Satan's counterfeit kingdom is what's alive, and I was going to say and well, not well. It's alive and dying out right now at this time. All right. So who's the last horn? Who is that little horn that came up with eyes like the eyes of man and a mouth speaking great things? These are clues, right? Come down to verse 20. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, is talking about the rising up and the falling of kingdoms. All right. But these kingdoms consist of the same people, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, right? The little horn, whose look was more stout than his fellows. Who do you think this is? Sounds like the United States of America to me. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. Who are the saints? Well, let's refer to the legend. Not about to go into it. If you're on this channel, you should know who the saints are. All right. Saints are the Israelites. So these people, this kingdom, this little horn, made war with the saints and prevailed against them. This is how we ended up in slavery. All right. This is how we ended up where we are now, under the rulership of that same horn. But listen to what it says, and prevailed against them until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. Oh, that means rulership. All right. So these people are prevailing over us for a time, but their time is ending. And then judgment is going to be given over to us, the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. You see, this is speaking as if it has already been accomplished because it's a prophecy. He can see the end of it. He's been shown what's going to happen in the end, that we are going to possess the kingdom. All right. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth. Now you see, it went right ahead and let you know. You see, if it didn't tell you here that the fourth beast was going to be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, how would you know? Well, you would use clues the way we're doing when we're going through the scriptures. All right. But this is how you get understanding, right? Precept upon precept. And you have to use the legend. All right. So the legend is very clearly spelling it out in this case, right? That the fourth beast is also the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down, and break it in pieces. Who is this fourth beast? And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. All right. Follow the clue cluster. So it's pointing out a certain people, a certain family. All right. And there are many of them who are popping up among this family who are being given rulership and power and authority. All right. But this beast, this is all one family. All right. And there are little horns, multiple horns on this nation, but they're all part of the same beast, aka the same family. And whoever this beast is, we know who it is because we know who's supposed to be in rulership in the end. Because this is the end time ruling beast, right? So this is how you put the clues together and build a case. Even if some things are vague and not completely understood, we can still use context clues in order to get a general idea. All right. Even if you're still a little, foggy on certain things, you can still understand most things. Like even in a police investigation, there may be certain clues that they don't really fully understand 100%, but they understand enough of the clues to see how they relate to the other clues that they have. They can tell you, hey, these clues are related. Even though if they can't completely explain a certain clue, they can still see that this clue is connected to this clue, and these clues are all connected to this person. So you don't got to be able to understand all the nuances and specifics of all of these different things. You just need to be able to be astute enough to realize how these things are connected so you know who and what they're talking about, even without you understanding every little individual aspect of it. There's a such thing as knowledge by inference. All right. What's being inferred that's not clear or not being said? Okay. This is something you got to be able to learn to do as a people. It's also called reading between the lines, right? Okay, so Daniel chapter 8, verse 23. The goat, the goat. And then we know, read the legend, and the legend tells you that a goat is symbolic of a rebellious person or a rebellious kingdom because goats are stubborn and rebellious. They're not like sheep. They got a completely different nature. All right, so let's get a little bit about the goat. All right, but here in the legend, in the map, it explains to us, this aspect of the legend. It says, and the rough goat is the king of Grecia, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. Now that being broken, whereas four stood up for it, four kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. Four kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. All right, meaning he's dreadful to look upon, right? Dreadful to look upon, and they understand dark sentences, meaning they understand hidden things, secret things, mysteries. All right. And it says, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. These, all right, these people are going to destroy the mighty and the holy people. And through his policy also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart or in his mind. He's going to get puffed up, prideful, big ego. He's going to get the big head. All right. He's going to magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. You see, they're going to fake, because these people fake peace. You want to know a little bit something about the early days of um, the indigenous folks going to war with the European powers that were here? You want to know, do you know how they finally took down these people and how they did this to a lot of people? Their strategy, right, was twofold. One, it was to divide and conquer, right? Where they go and try to either fund both sides, or create opposition between, you know, two different groups, get them to fight each other, and then slide in after they done slaughtered each other up. Or what also happened was, in a lot of cases, was they couldn't just win. They couldn't just beat them in battle. So they waved the white flag, called a truce, called for peace. They pretended as if they wanted to be peaceful and to coexist and get along. But that was all just a cloak for their wickedness. All right, just to get these people to drop their guard so that they can use craftiness in order to destroy them, because they couldn't just outright beat them in war. But if I can go on this for a good minute, and we'll be way off subject, and it'll be a whole lot of commentary that's going to make this thing way longer than I want it to be. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But just know, this is the nature and the practice of these people. This is what they've always done. Nothing new under the sun. They don't reinvent the wheel. They found something that works and they keep using it, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right, they keep using it. They got that go-to move. They spamming that X button. All right. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. Because Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, is going to break them, breaking them right now, causing them to destroy themselves. Look at the world. Just watch. Just watch. You'll see it happening. All right, let's go to Second Thessalonians chapter 3. We'll start from verse 3. But the Lord is faithful, who shall establish you and keep you from evil. And we have confidence in the Lord touching you, regarding you, that ye both do and will do the things which we command you. And the Lord direct your hearts into the love of the Most High and into the patient waiting for Hamashiach. Now we command you, brethren, in the name of our Lord Yahushai Hamashiach, that ye withdraw yourselves from every brother that walketh disorderly. Separate yourselves from those who are walking disorderly. You're not supposed to be attached to them, even though they're brothers. All right. You got to walk separately. You can't let the wicked bring you into wickedness, because that's what they'll do. All right. Wrongdoers, the people who are doing the wrong thing, are more likely to get you to walk like them than you are to get them to walk like you. Because wrongdoing and evilness and wickedness is a great seducer, more seducing than well doing. All right. Than righteousness. So withdraw yourselves from every brother that walketh disorderly, and not after the tradition which he received of us. You got to know who to part from. The Most High doesn't want you to walk with everybody. He will either destroy you and that person, or he will, sever the relationship. He might destroy that other person just to get them away from you, just so that they don't affect and infect you and corrupt you. All right. Sometimes you got to separate from people that you care about for their own good, just to save them from the Most High destroying them, for your good. You know what I mean? All right. If you can't get them to switch and to become better and to walk after your good example, then you got to withdraw yourselves. For yourselves know ye ought to follow us, For we behaved not ourselves disorderly among you, neither did we eat any man's bread for naught, but wrought with labor and travail night and day, that we might not be chargeable to any of you, not because we have not power, but to make ourselves an example unto you to follow us. All right. And so what I wanted to get this for you for is as exhortation to the brethren, because we are told to come out of Babylon. All right. And it's so important because he tells us to even separate from our own people of our own nation if they aren't right, because there are wicked among our own people. Separate from them. Right? So then when you think about when he says, come out of her, my people, when he's talking about Babylon, that you be not a partaker of her sins, I want you to understand his character and how loving he is in giving us a heads up, saying, hey, separate from these people. And he's telling you this because of what their latter end is. They might not know what their latter end is, but we know. See, because we have the legend. We know who these people are. We can identify them so then you can do the right thing as pertaining to these people, right? He identifies these people as the wicked. He tells you what he's going to do to these people, and he warns you, get away from them. Don't be hand in hand with them, right? It's like having a beef with somebody, and you know they get along with somebody that you care about, and you plan on doing your business on those individuals, and you give the person who you care about a heads up, say, "Hey, don't be with so and so. Stay away from so and so." Yes, I'm from South Central Los Angeles. I'm from South Central Los Angeles, so you know, I know all about that world, you know, and I'm so glad I don't know it by firsthand experience anymore, and that's just a thing of the past. But yeah, I've been in those circumstances, right, where somebody I knew from the other side over there, you know, and I grew up with him. We were sandbox buddies, you know what I'm saying? For a long time, and so we got love for one another. And his boys is thinking about going over there to my neighborhood and doing their thing over there. And I get the call, hey, my homies, they out, they you know they tripping. You know what I'm saying? They about to get on their thing. You might want to watch out. And so I know to get out of the way, right? I know to disappear. I know to ghost. I know it's time to go. I know it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? I can give other folks the heads up. Hey, look, give you the heads up. Something's going down. You might want to get out of the way. Be prepared. All right. But everyone don't heed those kind of warnings. And everyone aren't going to heed the warnings of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah through these scriptures either. But that's what's going on. All right. Through the spirit, we are being given a heads up. Hey, I'm about to do some things, you know what I'm saying, to these people. You need to get out of the way. All right. So whoever they be, not just the wicked, but wicked people and the wicked nation. All right, all alike. All right, because what I didn't want to do with this, I didn't want to focus so strongly on these other people, you know, and that anybody who might be new in this awakening, they don't understand how important it is to identify the wicked of our own people as well and separate themselves from them. Also, I had to remember that not everyone is going to be, you know, deep into this truth. There's going to be some new awakeners who are going to come across, you know, this lesson. All right. And I hope that by me starting off by saying that this was part four in this series, that, you know, the people who did come for the first time, they said, oh, well, let me go and look at the other three parts in this series before I check this one out. See, I forgot to say that, but, you know, that should have been inferred. Remember when I was talking about, you know, learn how to know what's being said without being said? Right. I didn't think that I needed to say it, but sometimes I know that you gotta say it because I know the nature of people. But anyway, all right. So now let's go back. Uh uh let's see. Yeah, let's go back a chapter. Let's go now to Second Thessalonians um chapter 2. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Hamashiach Yahushai, and by our gathering together unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter as from us, as that the day of Hamashiach is at hand. This is why we're getting the warnings. He's ready to make his move. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. All right. And so the man of sin is different from men in sin, right? We have brethren of our own nation who are men in sin. But who is the man of sin who is to be revealed, who is also called the son of perdition? All right. And he says, this shall not come except there come a falling away first. And this happened. This was us falling away from our power, us going into darkness, forgetting ourselves, becoming African Americans and black and colored and Indian and other such foolishness. Everything except Israelites. All right. Now concerning the man of sin, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God. What does this mean? A lot of people that don't understand this. And it says, or that is worship, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is Alahayim. All right. And so what this is saying is that, see, we are his people, right? Now, when you understand the end of things, Alahayim, right, refers to powers, plural. And when we are transformed and we become part of the Godhead, we become part of this Alahayim. You understand this? We become a part of it. So who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called the most Alahayim, it means that he exalted himself above the Israelites, above the saints. All right. And he makes himself to be above Yahushua and the Father. That's why it says all that is called, right? Because our Father, Yahushua, and us together, we are Alahayim, collectively, one, right? Or that is worship, so that he, as Alahayim, right? Because they try to make themselves to be gods, sitteth in the temple of Alahayim, showing himself that he is Alahayim. This is these people trying to usurp our birthright and trying to pretend to be us. And not just trying to pretend to be us, but just the wicked incarnation or version of us who are really Satanists at heart. All right. Helping you to identify what these people are like. All right. They opposed and exalted themselves above Alahayim. These people are opposed to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and are very prideful, egotistical. All right. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. All right. So now you know what's being held back. All right. What's being kept secret so that he might be revealed in his time. It's not for everyone to really know exactly who this individual or who these people are right now. But in due time, it'll be revealed. And guess what? Due time is here. We're in that time. It's being revealed. This is the reason why they're going crazy, trying to go to war with, why they got something called critical race theory, right? Trying to act as if real history is a theory and not something that actually happened. They're trying to rewrite history, change the history books, change the museums, all right? Bully everyone into singing their song, humming their tune, and telling the story, their version of history that they want to be echoed, that they want to indoctrinate everyone with, their children and ours. This is the man of sin trying to hide himself, the son of perdition trying to hide himself. All right. And it was saying man of and son of, but it's talking about a people. Right. It says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. All right, meaning Yahweh, is allowing it for a time, and then he's going to take these people out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed. And it says wicked with a capital W to let you know it's talking about a people and not just a descriptive word to describe a person. These people are literally the wicked personified. All right. Until the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. All right, whom the Lord shall consume, destroy with the spirit of his mouth. Me talking right now, I am his mouth. I'm his mouthpiece. I'm his spokesman. Through his spirit, he is using me to announce these things, to teach these things, to destroy these people through the truth. Because Yahweh Shai is the spirit of truth, right? So when we speak the truth, we are putting his spirit, his vibration into the earth. And his spirit is destroying and consuming the wicked. That's why you see these people melting down and they're falling apart. Because the wicked, they can't exist in this earth with the righteous. So the more his righteous spirit in vibration is increasing, the wicked are falling apart. They are self-destructing. Demonic possession is rampant because it's that time. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. So letting you know that these people, these wicked people, they are working, their coming is after the working of Satan. All right. They utilize power and signs and lying wonders. So they're manipulating the people. They're using technologies and psychology and what they know about hacking the human brain in order to program people and to bamboozle them. All right. They're performing magic tricks. You can't explain how they're doing what they're doing. But if you're smart, then at least you realize it's a trick, right? You go to a magic show, you know it's a trick to it. You know it's an illusion. They don't have no real magic where they're just able to really just do these things. No, there's some sort of trick to it. You just don't know it. See, when you're awakened, you understand this is how you look at it. You look at the world and you look at these people as magicians. You know they're tricking you. You know they're fooling you. You know it's all a production. You know they're just well practiced in deception, right? So you know it, you take it for what it is. But there are many people who don't understand. And so these people are easier to destroy through this power and signs and lying wonders, meaning deceptive wonders. This is what they engage in. All right. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, with all deceivableness of unrighteousness, because unrighteousness is deceiving. All right. It is a strong and powerful seducing power. Right. And it's in them who perish, meaning those who are destined to die. Because whether you are going to be killed, whether you're going to die or you're going to get eternal life is all by the Most High's predestination. All right. And the wicked are destined to perish because they received not the love of the truth that they might be saved. And now, see, this is also true for our own people. Many of our own people are wicked. They are deceiving and being deceived because of unrighteousness that's in them. So they are also destined to perish because they're drinking from the same spirit as the wicked, Satan's spirit. They don't receive the love of the truth. They hate this. They don't want to study this. They don't want to listen to these scriptures. They do not want to hear this truth because this truth is the fountain of youth. It's the fountain of life. And because the Most High doesn't want them to receive life, he doesn't allow them to be interested. Remember, this is all from the Most High. The people who love this It's because the Most High loves them and he wants them to live. He has great rewards for them. So he put it in their hearts, in their minds to love him and to love this. If anybody hates him, or they don't like the scriptures, they don't like to study, they don't like to hear the word, it's because the Most High made them not like it because he doesn't like them and he wants them to perish. So he doesn't want them to love him. He doesn't want them to seek him. He doesn't want them in his scriptures, in his word. All right, because he knows them and in their spirits that they don't have the love of the truth. So that they can be saved because the Most High doesn't want them to have the love of the truth because he doesn't want them to be saved. You get how that works? And for this cause, the Most High shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. You see, he makes it so that they're going to believe lies. He doesn't allow them to believe the truth. All right. He puts it in their minds to believe lies. He sends them a strong delusion. So again, this is also destroying the lie that Christians tell that the Most High loves everyone of the whole earth. But he keeps telling us he doesn't love everybody, that he also purposely keeps certain people in the dark, doesn't allow them to know and to understand the truth when they hear it because he hates them, because he wants them to die. So he keeps them ignorant so that they can die because knowledge is power and the truth causes you to live. What did Yahweh Shai say? The truth shall make you free. See, the meaning of that is different from what the people of this world mean when they say it. Remember, he is the truth. He's telling you that he himself will make you free. Free as in free from transgression and iniquity, free from sin, free from punishment. You're marked, exempt, right? From judgment. That they all might be damned who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. This is the plan. Again, this is what's going to happen to these people and why these people are at war with the Most High, why they really hate him and why they hate us. You see, they can't do anything to him directly. So their method, all right, is not any different than what you've seen in many gangster movies and whatnot, all right, or whatever, right? When somebody has an enemy and their enemy wants to get at them, but they can't get at them directly, they go and try to get at them through the people they love. Let me try to harm the people you love. Then, since I can't harm you, I'm going to hurt you by hurting the people you love. Right? And this is what Satan is doing. This is what our enemies are doing, waging war on us because we are the proxy for the Most High, and they know it. We are his children. So their war on us is their way of warring on him. Okay. And so, you understand what their end is going to be. All right. So if you go to Revelation 13, right? Revelation 13, it talks about the beast from the sea, right? We know the legend, right? The beast is talking about nations, all right? And the sea, beast is talking about kingdom, and the sea is a reference to the nations. All right. So you'll see symbolism in this chapter that's similar to what we saw in Daniel chapter 7. Right. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. Right. But look at this part right here in verse 3, though. It says, and I saw one of his heads, as it were, wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wandered after the beast, right? This is talking about the Roman Empire, all right, dying, or you're right, dying and then resurrecting. We are living in the revived Roman Empire, all right? The Most High is setting the stage. When he came into the earth, who was in power? The Romans. Which people put him on that cross? The Romans. And with the help of some Israelites. So guess what he did? He brought all of his enemies back to be here in the last days so that he can war with them. The same people who he allowed to do this unto him before because it was part of the plan. It was also part of the plan for him to get vengeance on those same people. So the wicked Israelites who handed him over, who hated him, he brought them back to die. Those wicked Romans, he brought them back into power so that he can fight against them when he comes, so that he can destroy them, right? He's doing it right now, but he's also going to continue it when he comes. So again, you see what we're looking at, all right? Verse 6, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High to blaspheme his name, to blaspheme his name. All right. Now, we just say things, but not everyone understand the meaning, right? It says to blaspheme his name. What does that mean, to blaspheme his name? To rail on, right? To speak evil, to speak reproachfully, to revile, all right? And what you need to understand is that, remember, we bear his name. Us being called Israel is like having his last name, Yasharallah, Prince of the Power. All right. So our name, Yasharallah, Israel, proclaims that we are the children of the highest. That's what the name means, that we are his children, right? So we have his name that he put on us. So when they speak evil of his name, they're speaking evil of us. They blaspheme his name. They rail on us, his name. They revile his name. That's why they stopped calling us Israel. That's why they started changing us to all of these other different descriptive terms, everything other than Israel, because they hate his name so much. They try to defame it, speak evil of it, rail on it, revile it. All right. And remember, he said that his name is blasphemed among the heathen on our part because we are the reason why they're doing this. So, we can't forget that, right? We definitely can't forget that. All right. But look, but continuing on, it says, verse 7, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. These people are ruling the earth. This beast is ruling the earth in the last days. Who is this beast? Who is this kingdom that is the mightiest kingdom on the earth, on all of the earth right now in these last days, ruling over all the earth, having power, right? Militaries and military units and on damn near everyone's lands or position close enough to, what I'm saying, to affect them. All right. Yielding strength and power over all the nations. Who is it? Who is this pointing to? All right. Is all of this stuff pointing to as the wicked, as the prideful, as the proud, the man of sin, son of perdition? All right. This fourth beast, this final ruling power, ruling kingdom, who Yahushua is going to do war with. I mean, it should be obvious, right? It should absolutely be obvious. All right. But look what it says about these people. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. It's saying this because this beast was responsible for a lot of enslavement. Of who? Who does the Most High care about? About the Israelites. All right. Who's the main culprit in our enslavement? The biggest culprit in our enslavement. The Most High is going to deal with all of these people, but remember, He always deals with the mightiest. All right, it's like you're gonna go fight with some people, and it's a group of them, and you want to fight the biggest, baddest, strongest, most loud mouth, the most talking and ish talking one out of the whole group to make a point. You don't want to fight the little guy. Yeah, he might be talking crazy too, but you want to fight the big guy because your win is going to be more impressive when you knock the big dude on his ass, when you sit him on his wallet, right? Same thing with the Most High. He raised these people up to be the biggest and the baddest so that he can fight them, sit them on their pockets, all right, and get his glory for doing it. Who is the only nation that would qualify to be the people who he would fight against if you're looking at it from the standpoint of, well, he raised up Pharaoh, and he said for the same reason he raised up Esau, and these people, he makes them, who did he make mighty and strong and give them a powerful kingdom, a powerful nation, a powerful military to fight against him. That's what he did. He gave it to them to fight against him because it's more impressive to fight and destroy somebody powerful and mighty than somebody who is not strong. You just seem like a bully. So who are these people who he set up to be his enemies in the last days? Who he set up to be the final boss in his story? Who is it? He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints of the Israelites, because we're patiently waiting faithfully for him to come and kill these people and to cause these people to go into captivity. He's going to kill some and enslave some. He told us he's going to do this. So we're patiently waiting, and we have faith that he's going to do it. That he's going to keep his word. All right. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. You see, we're in the revived Roman Empire, and they're making us to worship the first beast, the first Rome. But if you don't know history, then you don't realize what's going on. Right? It's the reason why they start trying to construct buildings in the way that they're doing, and a lot of the worship here is after Rome. This is the reason why they start naming all these planets after quote unquote Greek and Roman gods. They name things all the time after Greek and Roman gods. They'll even do it through means like Call of Duty, which they'll try to use to keep people in wickedness, right? They'll develop these characters and these little blueprints and, you know what I'm saying, and these little packages and everything else. And they normally got some sort of wicked agenda behind them, some sort of Egyptian god worship or some sort of Roman or Greek god worship, because the Greek and Roman pantheons are based off of the Egyptian pantheon. You see, the Greeks and the Romans just stole everything from the Egyptians. That's the reason why this place is called modern Egypt and Babylon, you see, and the most wicked kingdom to ever live. Because they took all of the wickedness, the great wickedness of the past of all the other kingdoms, and combined them all into one kingdom. That's why this is the most despised rulership that has ever existed in the earth. This is the reason why he made these people the final boss, the last wicked nation to rule that he's going to come and personally put hands on. That's why he says, come out of her, my people, that ye be not a partaker of her sins. He hates this place. He hates these people. He doesn't want you to be destroyed with them. All right. Revelation 12 and 17 says, and the dragon was wroth with the woman. We know the woman is the nation of Israel. All right. That's what the legend tells us. All right. Let's go up. It says the woman, Israel. You see, this is the map having the legend written right on it, showing you when you see the woman here is talking about Israel. All right. When you see the red dragon, it's talking about Satan. You see the male child, it's talking about a Mashiach. And here, when you read the angel, it's talking about Michael, right? So we're being given it. But a lot of times, and most of the time, we're not just outright given it. It's not given to us, this plainly. You got to have the Holy Spirit to be able to decipher and to discern more often than not. All right. But continuing in verse 17, it says, and the dragon went to make war with the remnant of her seed, the remnant of Israel, which keep the commandments of the Most High. All right. Because only the remnant, the small portion of Israel, we're the ones who keep the commandments of Yahweh. And we have the testimony of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. And so these people, you know, this nation will go to war with the remnant. Why is this happening? Because this is the Most High stirring up these people to do this for two reasons. So he can step in and save his people, and two, so that he can have great and just cause to punish these people. That's why you see their anger toward us increasing right now. This is him keeping his word. He is making these people, their hatred, he's increasing it. He's turning up the pot, causing their anger and their hatred to boil over so that he can use it against them to destroy them. Okay? So the final system, it fuses religion, law, and empire. And it speaks great blasphemies. It changes times and laws, and it persecutes the saints, the Israelites, and is propped up by lying wonders. All right. You know what? Let's go into clue cluster. Wow, man, I'm trying to say that. Clue cluster number 5. All right. End time placement and the transfer of rule. Okay. So I'm just going to give you this for reference because, again, I know not everybody is, well versed in the scriptures. Some people are new to this awakening. All right. When you go into Deuteronomy 28, you're going to see the prophecies of the blessings for Israel. All right. In verse 1 through 15. I'm sorry, verse 1 through 14. And in verse 15 begins the prophecies of the consequences of disobedience. And because we disobeyed and rebelled, if you want to be able to identify Israel, you need to study the consequences of disobedience, because then you will see all the curses that we fell under that point to us. All right. So I wanted to show this for those people as well, because I'm talking about the legend, reading the map. All right. And we're revealing the wicked. But the legend also tells us who the Israelites are. All you got to do is know what you're looking at. All right. So we know that the Israelites disobeyed and fell under the consequences of disobedience. So read verse 15 through 68 in order to better understand the punishments and the curses that fell on the Israelites, in order to help you understand who the Israelites are, if you're one of these people who are struggling with believing that we are indeed the Israelites. This will make it clear that this is talking about us. All right, the same way we use in the scriptures to point out who the wicked are. It's showing you who the wicked are. It's talking about certain people. And with all of the clues, it makes it obvious who the people are that it's talking about. The same is true when you're identifying Israel through Deuteronomy 28. Okay. But look, you see the last verse though, it says, and the Lord shall bring thee, Israel, into Egypt again with ships, into Egypt, the house of bondage. All right. And it's not just called Egypt because it is the house of bondage. It's also being called Egypt because it is very much like ancient Egypt. Very much like ancient Egypt in so many different ways. All right. I'm going to bring thee again into Egypt with ships. So it's showing you how the Israelites were going to go into slavery and to bondage. All right. And we all know that this was the Atlantic slave trade taking place when we went all over the earth, you know, into captivity via ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. All right. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall redeem you, meaning get you out of these conditions that I placed you in. All right. So now let's go to Luke 21. Luke 21, verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. Talking about Israel. All right. Talking about us. Okay. This is another one of those clues that point to who Israel is. Who were the people that were taken captive into all nations? And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled, until the rulership, their time that they have been given to rule, until that time is complete. Israel, Jerusalem, the people, and Jerusalem, the land, shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. Are we not the ones being trodden down of the Gentiles? Right? And we're waiting for the times of the Gentiles to be fulfilled. These same people who think that, they're going to be saved by believing in Jesus. Yeah, the very same people. Yeah, the same people hoping to escape to Christianity. Yeah, same people. Same people. All right, let's go to Second Ezra chapter 6. Same people, but who are these same people? Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. The end of the world, meaning they are the end of the age, meaning they are the ones who will be ruling at the end of the age of the Gentiles. They will be the ones in power during a time when the times of the Gentiles is being fulfilled or are being fulfilled. And Jacob is the beginning of the age that follows the fall of the Gentiles. That's what we're waiting on, right? Okay, let's go to Second Ezra chapter 6, verse. I'm sorry, chapter 11. All right. I'm not about to read all this. This is great homework for you to read for yourself. Okay. It talks about, Ezra's dream. Then saw I a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which had 12 feathered wings and 3 heads. And I saw, and behold, she spread her wings over all the earth, and all the winds of the air blew on her, and were gathered together. And I beheld, and out of her feathers, there grew other contrary feathers, and they became little feathers and small, but her heads were at rest. The head in the midst was greater than the other, yet rested it with the residue. Moreover, I beheld, and lo, the eagle flew with her feathers, and reigned upon earth, and over them that dwelt therein. And I saw that all things under heaven were subject unto her, and no man spake against her, no, not one creature upon earth. Who are these people? Who is this ruling that has the whole world terrified, scared to speak against? And I beheld, and lo, the eagle rose upon her talons, and spake to her feathers, saying, Watch not all at once. Sleep everyone in his own place, and watch by course. This is one family, right? This eagle is representative of a people. And these different parts of them are just different parts of the same people, different nations, because they're broken down into different nations. This is the who we refer to as the Europeans, the European peoples. Watch not all at once, meaning don't all rule at once. So this is talking about how, they would all get an opportunity to rule, and they wouldn't all rule at the same time. All right. This is the prophecy of this family getting rulership, okay, of the earth. But let the heads be preserved for last. And I beheld, and lo, the voice went not out of her heads, but from the midst of her body. And I numbered her contrary feathers, and behold, there were 8 of them. And I looked, and behold, on the right side there arose one feather and reigned over all the earth. And so it was that when it rained, the end of it came, and the place thereof appeared no more. So the next following stood up and reigned and had a great time. All right. So it's talking about European rulership. All right. How all of these nations would take turns ruling. And it happened that when it rained, the end of it came also, like as the first, so that it appeared no more. Then came there a voice unto it and said, Hear thou that hast borne rule over the earth so long. This I say unto thee, before thou beginnest to appear no more, before you disappear, before you die out, before you vanish, before you're destroyed. Listen to what I got to say to you. There shall none after thee attain unto thy time, neither unto the half thereof. So this one who's ruling is told that none of their brethren or none of their own people who's going to, rule after him was going to rule for as long as him. So this one would be the longest ruling of the family, and that no more of the family who would rule afterward would rule for that long ever again. It says neither unto the half thereof. So they wouldn't even rule for half the time, right, as that certain kingdom of the family. Then arose the third and reigned as the other before and appeared no more also. All right. Another kingdom uh, rose, another kingdom fell. So went it with all the residue one after another. So this is happening one after another, as that everyone reigned and then appeared no more. You see, they're all getting opportunity. This is the Most High, all right, allowing for, he allowed everyone to get an opportunity before our rulership. Then I beheld, and lo, in process of time, the feathers that followed stood up upon the right side, that they might rule also. And some of them ruled, but within a while they appeared no more. For some of them were set up, but ruled not. After this I looked, and behold, the 12 feathers appeared no more, nor the two little feathers. And there was no more upon the eagle's body, but 3 heads that rested, and 6 little wings. Then saw I also that 2 little feathers divided themselves from the 6 and remained under the head that was upon the right side, for the 4 continued in their place. And I beheld, and lo, the feathers that were under the wing thought to set up themselves and to have the rule. And I beheld, and lo, there was one set up, but shortly it appeared no more. And the second was sooner away than the first. So my goal here isn't to break down all of this imagery and show you each and every step of the way who all of these nations are being referenced, right? Just know what family that is being talked is being spoken about. All right. You don't need to know exactly which group among the family is being spoken of, because we're just identifying the family, them as a whole. We're not breaking them down into segments. All right, not this lesson. That's not what this is about. I already got a video where I broke this down. I'm not doing that here. We're just identifying the family as a whole, the people as a whole, because though they might be broken down into countries and segments, they're still viewed as a one people, one family in the eyes of the Most High, and they are the wicked, the proud that we are using the scriptures to uncover. So that's why I'm taking this approach, and I'm not just trying to sit here and break all of this down. I'm just reading this so you can hear how the scriptures are speaking about these people and about rulership, and that you have to study the legend in order to understand the map, the scriptures, because many people don't even understand, what's going on in the scriptures, and that certain people are being revealed and it's kept a secret. It's written as a mystery. There's a reason why it's been written like this, and they're being referenced as a bird and as different parts of the eagle and so forth, because it was meant to be a mystery. All right. He says, and behold, the head was turned with them that were in it, and did eat up the 2 feathers under the wing that would have reigned. But this head put the whole earth in fear, this kingdom, and bear rule in it over all those that dwelt upon the earth with much oppression. And it had the governance of the world more than all the wings that had been. So this one would have a bigger rulership, a bigger kingdom, more reach, more power, and they would execute more oppression. Who is this? All right. Now, I'm not, again, like I said, I'm not about to read all this. All right. I just wanted to read some of it, to encourage you to read it for yourself. All right. So then when you go into Second Ezra chapter 12, same thing. I'm not about to read it all. I just want to encourage you to dive into it for yourself and learn how to read, study to show thyself approved, and to understand the prophecies and to gather the clues for yourself. I took you through clue gathering. Now I'm setting you up with homework. All right, things to do for yourselves because a lot of people don't study because they don't know where to start. They don't know where they should go. Well, I'm trying to give you something that's going to allow you to commune with the Holy Spirit. Let the Most High come and sup with you. All right. I'm not going to feed you everything in this lesson. All right. I'm trying to direct you to Yahweh Shai so that you can have a relationship with him for yourself. All right. So Second Ezra chapter 12 is very similar to 11. All right. In what it's doing. And it came to pass while the lion spake these words unto the eagle, I saw, and behold, the head that remained and the four wings appeared no more, and the two went unto it and set themselves up to reign. And their kingdom was small and filled of uproar. And I saw, and behold, they appeared no more, and the whole body of the eagle was burnt, so that the earth was in great fear. Then awaked I out of the trouble and trance of my mind, and from great fear, and said unto my spirit, Lo, this hast thou done unto me, in that thou searchest out the ways of the highest. But what I want you to see here is that this talk sounds very similar to what we hear in Revelation about Babylon, right? About how when Babylon is burning, everyone else on earth is standing back looking at it in fear, just to show you that this eagle, right? This eagle is connected to Babylon. Okay? So that's what I want you to see. This eagle is connected to Babylon. Clue gathering. All right? Again, feel free to study this entire chapter. All right? Then you should also study Second Ezra chapter 15. If you've been following me, then you know that I broke down these chapters already. All right? Go ahead and find my playlist. All right, when I'm breaking it down. I'm not about to do that here. Again, I'm just pointing you to things that you should study for yourselves. All right. So Second Ezra 15. All right. This is all about the last days, end time prophecy, which will help you to understand things that are to come in the earth in the last days. We are in the last days. So it's smart for you to understand what the Most High has pronounced for the times that you're living in. All right, because look at verse 4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. That should be enough right there to make you want to go dive in and read more about what's happening in this chapter. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the earth, the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Her hurtful works sounds like when it's talking about the times of the Gentiles being fulfilled. Talking about the end for this family. Their reign of terror is coming to an end. I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I allow them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. All right. Meaning he says, I'm tired. I'm not going to allow them to continue in wickedness anymore. I allowed it for a time, but now the bill is due. Time to pay the piper. Okay. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just Israelites complain continually. And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer, aka allow them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. All right, his people in the last days are dwelling in the land of Egypt, in the land of the house of bondage. All right, so again, that helps you see who Israel is and what the Most High likens where we live unto Egypt. All right, and he's going to war against these people the way he warred against Pharaoh and Egypt. Okay, Egypt shall mourn. Well, let's go back a little bit. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and the punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. All right. So feel free to read that for yourselves. All right. And then after you're done with that, go get 2nd Ezra chapter 16. Right? Woe unto thee, Babylon. All right? Destruction is coming for Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. All right? Gird yourselves up with sackcloth of hair. Let me read that again. Gird yourselves up with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children, meaning cry for your children, and be sorry for your destruction as at hand. Be sorry for what? For everything they have done to Israel that they're about to pay for. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? All right. So then you see similar speech in here, right? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it begun to burn? Remember, right? Israel and Judah would be as a flaming fire, and Edom would be as stubble, and no one will be able to quench it, meaning stop us when we begin to destroy these people. There's nothing they will be able to do. No one will be able to help them because we're going to be the mighty in the earth. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. Sounds familiar, right? The Babylon would be under siege and attacked by the other nations through missiles and nukes. The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? Right? This is him saying, I'm going to send out my people. We're going to take part in the vengeance of the Lord. Again, so in these end times, is smart. It behooves you to try to learn what the judgment is for the wicked in these times. That should also motivate you to get it together and to not be among the wicked. The only people who are going to hear these things and not do anything about it are going to be those who don't believe, and they're going to get an even sorer punishment because they've heard the word of truth and they rejected it. They didn't believe in it. And so they're not going to have any excuse. They're not going to say, well, Lord, I didn't know. Please have mercy on me. Nope. They're going to be just like the people in the time of Noah who laughed and mocked when Noah was warning them of what was to come because it had never rained before in Noah's time. So when he was talking about the rain and the flood, they were laughing and mocking and scoffing and joking. Thought he was out of his mind. And guess what? They're doing that right now to us. They think that we're out of our minds. So they're laughing, mocking, and joking. Oh, but they're not going to be joking when this time comes. They're going to be wishing they listened. All right? Because what's going to happen? Daniel chapter 7 is going to happen. right? Let's go back to it. Verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. You see, we're going to take the kingdom, meaning we're going to be part of the war. We're not just going to be sitting back while Yahweh and Yahweh Shai go to work. It's going to be a family affair. This is what it is with the Most High. This is what he deals with. His family versus all of the other families of the earth. But in this end time show, the end time of his movie, it is his family versus the family of Edom. And he who is the head of this family, though he's going to deal with all the wicked, he speaks to the head of the wicked, right? From mighty to mighty. This is what he's doing. This is what's to come. All right. Because verse 27, right? Again, and the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven, meaning the entire earth, shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, shall be given to the Israelites. Our kingdom is not going to be like the kingdom all the other nations had. Our kingdom is going to be far superior to all the other kingdoms. All right. We are going to rule over the entire earth, all of it. That's why he has 144,000 men being trained in righteousness. We're being prepared for rulership in his kingdom. Yahweh Shai, the King of Kings, right? We will be those kings under the king in charge of different areas to rule over, right? This is the inheritance of the righteous sons of the highest. And his righteous daughters will get to benefit greatly from all of this. No, there aren't going to be the ones ruling. It's not how the Most High works. That's the way of Satan in this world. Women don't rule, women don't govern. All right. Women will get to just enjoy the soft life. His women, his daughters, I should say. Everyone else, yikes. All right. So the last age belongs to Gentile rule, right? With a specific Edom and Babylon color into it. All right. So then the reign is going to transfer to Jacob, to Israel under Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. This is the end times plan by the Most High. You should be able to see from all of the study who the wicked are, who the proud are, who the people are who has been raised up for the Most High to do battle with in the end times. And it's crazy because you get all of these Christians, Europeans, who call themselves, studiers of the word. Oh, they love to try to study stuff like Second Ezra, 11 and 12. But it's like they read it and they study it and they can never see themselves in it. He's talking to them and they can't see it, but he uses them to help pronounce judgment against their own people, right? So that there is no cloak for excuse. The same way the Most High uses me to teach my own people, so that there is no excuse. All right. So the map, aka the scripture, it uses code. That's what happens all throughout the scriptures. All right. Edom, the daughter of Babylon, beast, the proud man, man of sin. All speaking about the same family, same people. So the legend, right, which is the Holy Spirit, it interprets the symbols for us across law, prophets, writings, gospels, epistles, revelation, and apocrypha. And so the same antagonist profile, it keeps appearing all throughout the scriptures. All right, pride driven, imperial power, global commerce soaked in blood, sorcery and deceit, perpetual hatred of Jacob, persecution of saints, blasphemy, and times and law changes, climaxing in the day of vengeance, the day of the Lord, the day of the Lord's wrath. All right. With Edom, Babylon as, major labels and Gentile times as the frame. So, the verdict is evident and it's not emotional, it's textual, in fact. And so the scriptures leave a trail of fingerprints, clues for us to follow. And whoever fits that trail is the antagonist foreseen. And they are being revealed as the light rises on Zion. All right. So, we don't need to scream names. We just teach the lesson, lay out the clues, and let the word expose the culprit. All right. Our job is to watch, separate, be holy, and prepare for the transfer of the kingdom to the saints under our King Yahweh Shai. All right. That's our commission. We'll leave everything else to everyone else. All right. I pray that you guys were all edified and blessed. Edify someone else. Be a blessing to someone else. All right. And if it's the Lord's will that you should help to convert souls and receive a reward for it. All right. And so I appreciate your time. All right. And that has been mine. I'll see you guys all on the next one, Yahweh willing. All praise, honor, and glory to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of our beloved King Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, through the strength and the power of his gift, the Comforter, and the Holy Spirit. Y'all know the mantra, each one, reach one. Shalom.